Hello everyone, how are you doing? This is Kumaran. I'm doing my Masters of Social Work uh, in Community Development Specialization. And today we are going to see on the topic the second C assignment was given by Dr. Prince Anadurai for our uh, final semester. The topic uh, group counseling and peer counseling. So now we deeply look into the topic. I hope my screen is visible for you. If you have any doubts, you can post the questions at the end of the presentation. Okay. So group counseling and peer counseling. It's a self-explanatory. Group counseling in the sense counseling given to the group of individuals, and peer counseling in the sense counseling given by peers. So this was the crisp introduction about the topic. And counseling is derived from the word counsel, which literally means to give advice. Actually, we should not give advice in counseling, but actually the meaning itself, it's to give advice. So that's how counseling comes with the word. And dictionary meaning of the word counseling is that it is a kind of help, one of the kind of help with personal or psychological matters, usually given by a professional. Not everybody can give counseling. Not it's like similar to not everybody can perform the activity of social work. Only professional can do. Likewise, so counseling also not everybody's cup of tea. Only a professional only could able to do. That was according to Encarta Dictionary 2009. So counselor, who's the counselor? Counselor is someone who gives counseling. It's very easy, no? The person who gives counseling is called counselor. And the person who receives the same counseling from the counselor's counseling. So like what? If I am giving counseling in the sense I am become the counselor. And when I'm like giving counseling to the person whom seated like opposite to me, receiving that counseling is called counseling. And yeah, there was a like what big debate and $1 million question that psychotherapy and counseling is more similar only, but it's different. Let me given points. What are the ways? What are the things which set apart counseling from psychotherapy? Counseling is a process. Nobody can live in the middle of the way of counseling. It's happening. So it's a process, and counseling helps us to solve problems. Either it will give suggestion by the counselor to the counseling for getting out the problems, or sometimes helping the client to help themselves. So one or other way, the solving problem is the main objective. And it's a face-to-face sessions. It couldn't be deal with books or deal with papers or over phones. So it's not possible. But in recent days, we are updating ourselves to saw having counseling in telephonic interview over the Zoom call with it, like what it going along with the digitalization of India. So these were the things. Counseling is a process. It's a process, and it helps the client counselor to solve problems either by themselves or the suggestion given by the counselor. And it's a face-to-face sessions. So okay, what is a group? The group is a place where you can experiment with the different ways of behaving. Experiment in the sense it's a kind of what of testing how we will behave in a group of opposite sex, in a group of both mixed sex, in group of elders, in group of youngers, in group of youth, in group of your family members. So it's a kind of experiment, and you may want to try talking more. If you want to talk more, yeah, you're permit. You permit. Nobody will resist you or like what say that hey, you should stop talking. Nobody will do that. You will talk more. And on the other way, if you're talking more, he will become a quieter than as usual. So a person who want to talk more, they can talk, but the same person will also like maintain silence. That was also happening in group, and you may find yourself disagreeing with people in the group. Yeah, because every individual is unique and different. Some may will agree with your point, and some other will not agree with your point. So you may find yourself disagreeing with the people in the group. It happens because uh, different opinions will bring different conflicts, and if all the people are agree with the same point, there will be no disagreeing. If they are having different opinions, then it's happen for this disagreeing. Feel your opinions become more clearly defined, so your opinion will be uh, heard by many of them group members. They will listen to that. Yeah, let me listen to the person whom talking right now. I think I should listen to that. So people will listen to your point, and you have a chance to compare them with your own. A comparison will also happen in your group, because I say that everybody is unique and different. So comparison will also take place and help to increase your friendship outside it. So group not only contribute while sessions happening, after the end of the session and coming like in the middle of coming back to the next session, you might have chance to build friendship even outside of the group. That is a that's what group. So I hope that you are aware of the process of group. It's norming, forming, stopping, norming, forming, storming, uh, performing, adjoining. So the group have experiment. You will talk more, you will sometimes quiet, and you will disagree with other points, and your opinion will be clearly heard, and your chance to compare, and you also have more friendships. Group counseling is a form of therapy, yeah, which possesses that people benefit from shared experience. Usually group counseling is focused on a particular issue, for example anger management, while a therapist usually manage group counseling. Contributions from other members of the group are considered valuable since all on the group share similar issues. Okay, that people benefit from shared experience. So group counseling, one of the advantage of group counseling is people will also benefit from the one of the group member, not only the counselor. One of the group member also will benefit either through their testimonies, either the techniques, either the methods they use to utilize to overcome the same situation. So group counseling, the people are selected on the basis of same problems. Okay, if I am suppose one of the group members is drug addict, that group will be filled with drug addicts only, not like problem with family members like that. So group members are decided or like we shortlisted with the same similar problems, and it's focused on a particular issue. If the group members also part of the same issue only, then only we can focus on a particular issue, and each and every members of the group will contribute to the group. It will reflect on the one of the group members for for helping them to help themselves. So one of the main principle behind group counseling is idea that dealing with specific issue may cause isolation and a feeling that one is alone in facing one's problem. Group counseling attempts to counteract this isolation by assembling people with similar issues to enforce that difficulties are not singular to one person. The thing is that since some people will be introvert or some people will be extrovert, because of that extrovert person, introvert people will reduce their contribution participation. Since group is focusing on one single problem, that may also one or two ways. One or sometimes people will get isolated because they need to be looked after by someone. Since everyone facing the same problem, this group counseling will help to resolve this such problems, like focusing on similar issues where each and everybody having their cup of tea, they can contribute, they can add on value to the group. So no isolation will be taken place. If they're taken place, then they need to be looked after. Either they might be changed the group, or the group might be changed because of them. So additionally, knowing other people with similar troubles can be comforting to each individual who may not have access in their own family and friends to people with the same problem. For example, a person coming from a poor socioeconomic factor. So utilization of modern devices like what like take this way that person is like what a slow learner. So on their family, he's the only slow learner. So he might think that, okay, I'm the only slow learner in the earth itself. So if that person being put in that group belongs to the similar person who coming across the issues of slow learning, he might have a moral support that, yeah, I'm not the only one, I'm one of the ones only, so I can get help from them. It's not an issue, it's very easy for to solve. So that comfort level will be provided for those individuals. And learning about you. So counseling helps to learning about you. Self-assessment consists of between 5 and 8 people supported by a facilitator. A group counseling is with a minimum of 5 and maximum of 8. And members meet together regularly to learn more about themselves and how they relate to others. So self-learning and experimenting. Group counseling is an invaluable tool for self-learning and experiment with different ways of behaving. If you have never dared to show a certain side of yourself before, this may be the place to start. So you've thought that I am introvert, I won't mingle or socialize with other people, then group counseling helps to identify, really reveal the true faces, true colors of you if you're placed in a group counseling, and it will help to share experiences. So group counseling is a form of therapy, as I said, which causes the people to benefit from shared experiences. Usually group counseling is focused on a particular issue, for example, obsessive compulsive disorder or anger management. So while the therapists usually manage group counseling, contribution from other members of the groups are considered valuable since all in the group share similar issues. And advantages of group counseling. So providing unique environment. Uh, it provides unique environment. Group counseling can offer a unique environment which learn about and experience both self and others. So we all live in groups for much of our lives, and working together with us in a group can provide valuable insights into characteristic patterns of thinking and relating in a group setting. Group counseling would provide that unique environment. So everybody is every problem you come across in life is a normal one, a common one, a simpler one. So these are the environment they will provide it. And exploring the issues in depth. So group experience gives individuals an opportunity to explore the issues in more depth in a setting which more closely resembles work, study, social and family groupings. So it will help you to analyze the problem, the conflict, the situation you come across in depth. And another advantage, avoiding isolation and loneliness. One of the main principles behind group counseling is the idea that dealing with specific issue may cause isolation and the feeling that one is alone in facing one's problem. Group counseling attempts to counteract this isolation by assembling people with similar issues to enforce that difficulties are not singular to one person. Additionally, knowing other people with similar troubles can be comforting to each other individual, so who may not have access in their own family and friends, people with the same problem. And another advantage is highly organized. So group counseling may be highly organized with people doing specific activities together and then sharing the results. It also shares current issues related to the group purposes. And once person's verbal contribution to a group might be discussed, validated, and provoke problem solving by other group members in a session. It might also be an entry to a discussion regarding a certain aspect of illness or condition that is then primarily led by the therapist. Group counseling costs less. So usually not much uh, remuneration being collected for group counseling, better alternative than private therapy. And group counseling is covered by insurance, and many groups offer sliding scale fees for those without insurance. Help others and being helped. So it's kind of social work only. One of the principles of social work, helping others to help themselves, and feeling of empowerment. So it helps build confidence and self-esteem so that you may feel more in control of your life. Another advantage is improvement by sensitivity and insight. Group members improve from the sensitivity and insight of the counselor. So the sensitization, realization, conscientization of the what are the techniques we should utilize for overcome the situation, and promoting growth and change. Group members provide different perspectives, which are often helpful in promoting growth and change. And there's a like two sides in a coin. So also disadvantage for a group counseling. Too large group suffers. So as I said, minimum of 5 and maximum of 8. If group therapy suffers, if group is too large or too small. Usually group counseling works best when an experienced counselor. So even though it's not about the number of the people, it depends upon the counselor who moderate, who run the group. So if the counselor is experienced one, he can handle as much as possible. Monopolizing group. So group therapy may also become problematic when one person appears to monopolize the group. So people may vary in the need of therapy, and generally those who monopolize a group should not be despised but should be redirected to private counseling, whether the person is the sole focus of attention. After some time in a private session, a person may feel less need to monopolize a group counseling session. The conclusion. Conclusion for group counseling is indeed a very effective way to solve one's problem. It is a process through which severe problems can be tackled properly. In order to carry out effective group counseling, one should keep group members' respect and dignity in mind. So, counseling cannot be done by everyone. It's not everybody's cup of tea. So, the professional only could able to perform a good counseling, especially group counseling, will help the person to recover themselves by getting the shared experiences, testimonies which other person elicited and sharing. And also, counselor is not the only person where the counselor could able to get help. Even one of the group members also could able to help the others. It's like what yeah, that man used that technique, I should also try that because I never try. No, let me try that. So those kind of situation will help the person to help themselves. Peer counseling. Peer counseling is not advising. In peer counseling, the counseling of the person will depend upon how you treated the blocks, because blocks can cause irrational behavior. Counseling process enables the person to sort out unpleasant experience and erase blocks. So contradiction of normal counseling. That's the difference between normal counseling and peer counseling. The counselor can look at the client experience like memory bank of a computer. Input experience greater than pleasant or unpleasant. Process is sorted, coded, classified, filed. So in normal counseling is saying that it's like a bank of memory for a counselor. They will check on the experience whether it's pleasant or unpleasant. The process, they will be sort the process and will be decoded, and they will classify it and file. Unpleasant experience may cause 90% of jam on the process, which result to blocking. So what are the unpleasant experience? It will be pain, unhappy, feelings, hurt, trauma, etc. Counseling equal to listen. When a client talks, client listen to herself or himself. When listening to oneself, one gets insight within oneself, equivalent to intuiting, talking to yourself. So counseling equal to listening. We should listen to the counselee who sharing their experience. Even when the counselor giving any counseling, the counselor also should be listened, or else they're talking to them themselves. That's what I'm saying, that if other person not even having the interest to listen to your uh, exchanging of words, you're only speaking to yourself, they're only speaking to themselves. Peer counselors, what are the roles of peer counselor? Peer counselors listen with the delight. Okay, response, but let's the counselee and decide, do not interrupt or make sabbat. So peer counselor will listen, respond, and they let the counselor alone to decide. They will not interrupt, but instead let the client talk continuously, because the counselor is actually talking to herself, not to the counselor. Other things to remember in counseling: don't interrupt, don't probe. Don't investigate, don't console, observe confidentiality. So when the counselor is speaking, don't interrupt them. Wait will be, don't interrupt them. Let them talk continuously, because on one point of them, you will see them itself. You will stop them. And don't investigate. Don't cross question them. It's not like what any serious case, and you just listen to them. Don't consult. Don't resist them. Like, please make it shortly like that. Don't do that. And observe confidentially. Don't share the things to others. Advice may be good for the counselor, but not necessarily good for the counseling. I like if I am so I'm like I liking the tea means it's I only like the tea. You should also to take the tea also, because இப்போ எனக்கு வந்து டீ பிடிக்குதுன்னா அப்ப நான் மட்டும் குடிச்சா போதும், நீங்களும் குடிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு நம்ம வந்து வருத்தப்படுத்த கூடாது. The counselor must not dwell on age. So counselor must dwell on age, A for anger, G for grief, and E for emotions. If they do so, they will prejudice, they will misjudge, they will come to a conclusion without seeking the perception. What is peer counseling program? Peer counseling program is dedicated to assisting students throughout their important years of college, establishing one-on-one peer mentoring relationship between students. So it's kind of like what the peers, in the sense people with same age category, either maybe 2 or 3 year difference. So them itself giving counseling throughout the college years. It's like what uh, grassroots supervision, 3 tier system, village panchayat block. So like even central government, state government, and municipal. So central government will give an order to the state government, state government will order the municipal. So everybody have the role to perform. If they do like then utilization of available resources will be happen, and time constraints. So build on the belief that regular availability of a trained upper class students to listen and offer. So if the college having, if the 8,000 college having only one counselor, imagine that many of the students will have to wait or to book appointment for get to for wait their opportunity to meet the counselor. Peer counseling happen in the same college, people will go after them and get counseling from the peer counselor instead of waiting for the counselor, realizing that the students' college experience involve much more than the classroom, and that academic achievement can be influenced for both good and bad by how a student balance the myriad components of college life. Peer counselors are prepared to provide counseling and assistance on a variety of issues that might affect the first year student. So, peer counselor, most of peer counselor will be second year students, so they may come across what will be happening in the first years. So that time peer counselor will show their entry. Yeah, let's me and say that oh, these will be happening like that. So you tackle like that, and that teacher will give an assignment like that. You need to complete with on time, and this teacher won't even given any assignment. And like instead of that, you should not read on the last time. You should read on the daily basis. So these were the advices. I'm just giving an example. Few and other. And who are the peer counselors? Upper class students who volunteer because of the desire to assist their peers to co-students. So not everybody, it's not everybody cup of tea. Peer counseling is not everybody cup of tea. If they want to assist others, their co-students, their friends. So upper class students will be most peer counselors, and they are selected based on strong interpersonal skills and solid academic performance and thorough knowledge of how to function as a college student. So experiences and spread of knowledge, these things will be an eligibility criteria for peer counselor. And leaders in other campus organization, after being selected, peer counselor participate in a comprehensive training program. They will given with proper training program. Peer counselor assists students with balance between academic and social life, and resource available at college campus both academically and socially. Roommate interaction and dormitory life, homesickness, any and all aspects of college related to academic success, campus policy and procedures, cultural adaptation for international students, those from across the country. So these were the things where peer counselor provide assistance. And benefits to a peer counselor. The peer counselor career will be gain experience on communication, counseling, and interaction while enhancing leadership and presentation skills. Peer career counselor not only gain the ability to assist others with career issues, but also gain knowledge about job market and career related topics that will aid in their own career decision making and job research. And valuable experience will be gained by working in a professional environment and having a professional staff mentor. So a conclusion, like a good friend is one that you can sit at a park bench with, say nothing to, and when you leave, you feel as if you have had the best conversation of your life. So that is peer counseling. Peer counseling is not the same counseling given by the actual counselor. It's understanding others from their point of views and the experience you come across on your previous years on like the same role, same time, and same first year. So it helped, like you just share their experience and they're getting benefit of that. That is peer counseling. So I hope that the presentation will help you to understand counseling and peer counseling. And if you have any doubts, please post the questions in the chat box, in the comment box. Uh, so group counseling, the counseling given to a group of individuals with a similar problem, and that group of individual getting benefit from the shared experience, one of the group is called group counseling. And peer counseling, like counseling given by the upper class students who are leaders, like what they urge to counsel others and build a strong social responsibility among the students. That is called peer counseling. So I hope that you understand the difference and have a nice day. Thank you so much. This is Kumaran from Madras Christian College, doing my Master of Social Work in final year, community development. Thank you for that. Bye bye.